This Lego set is confusing because... Hey guys, this is JP's Lego Reviews. Today, I'm going to review the Lego Star Wars Tantive 4 or Rebel Blockade Runner set. Now, this set's set number is 75244. The piece count on this set is 1,768 pieces, and the recommended age rating for this set is 12 and up. So, let's break it down. So, from left to right, we have a Rebel Fleet Trooper, Captain Antilles, Bail Organa, Princess Leia, C-3PO, and R2-D2. Now, all these minifigures are actually quite well detailed, but my personal favourite two minifigures have to be Bail and Princess Leia. Both of these minifigures in this specific set actually happen to be executed really well. But now, let's look at the back of these minifigures. Now, here are the back of these minifigures. Now, out of all these minifigures, they all don't have that much detail, but Princess Leia and the two troopers, well, Captain Antilles and the Rebel Fleet Trooper, do have a bit of detail. But now, let's look at the alternate facial expressions of these minifigures before we get to the set itself. Now, with all four of the non-droid characters in this set, they all actually come with, in my opinion, similar but good quality facial expressions, and Princess Leia comes with an additional dress piece and not just a pair of pants. But now, let's move on to the Tantive 4 itself. Now, here is the Tantive 4 itself. Now, I'm going to quickly just show you what this set looks like from all different angles before we start looking at the functionality of this set. But before we do, there's actually quite an interesting contrast that only really seems to be in this set, which is the fact that this set both has some really good UCS level just detail, for example, all over the wing area and over this cockpit area. Meanwhile, some bits like this whole section and this whole section look like they belong in a playset, which is, yet again, kind of unusual. But now, let's go into all the functions, because there are a lot of functions in this set. Now, we happen to be at the front half of the Tantive 4, because I'm going to go from left to right on all the functions in this set, but it mainly concentrates here. So, you can open up the, well, that's actually one of the floors. It's not really built that well, but once you rebuild it together, you can open up the top halves of these two pieces and you can add two minifigures to just have within the control base or the control center of the build. Then you have the turrets here, which combine on a ridged axis. The non-shootable just cannons move up and down separately, and then the stud shooters can shoot over here one at a time as well. And these things do fly off quite far, so as a note, don't shoot them everywhere, because if you do it enough times, you will lose the pieces. Now, Lego do give you spares, but still, it's something just to note. Also, underneath, you have a system here where if you push this, a spring-loaded shooter will come out. So, I'll just move back, and you saw the arrow, but if not, the second one came out as well. And there's also the just turret system as well, but this time without anything actually on it. Before we go to the main area, I'm actually going to firstly lift this, because you can lift the whole set with just this sort of piece, this handle, and it does roughly hold in equal sort of 50-50 distribution of a weight. Now, if you lift off this piece right here, you'll get two spare spring-loaded shooters, which they look like this if you didn't know. I'll place this back on, and we get to the main bit itself. Now, there's four individual moving turrets, and then you lift it off. It's only connected by this piece. Inside of here, there's actually, funnily enough, not too much detail. You have two basically areas for the minifigures to sit, But an important note is minifigures can't actually stand up in this, because if I just get a Rebel Trooper here for a minute, if I just stand him up here, what will happen is if you try and close the roof, you can't. And it's because his head just blocks the way. But if you say lie him down, or sit him down rather, you can close it off. And as well as that, you also have I think a game table here as well. You have a place to hook some binoculars, and there's a few little seating areas, but it really isn't too detailed. There's also a walkway out straight to the spring-loaded shooters as well. That bit accidentally dropped, I'll get that later. And also, you have 2 escape pods, which are on either side. Now, this is where C3PO and R2-D2 escaped in the beginning of the movie. And apart from that, something else I believe dropped off again. I'll fix that later. You also just have the detailing here, but there's no actual functionality. But now, I'm going to move on to the instruction manual before I move on to my final thoughts on this set, which are quite interesting. Also, I forgot this function here as well, and this is what this set looks like from the underside. But now, I'll actually move on to the instructions. Now, here are the instructions, and they are in the UCS style of instructions. So you have information about not just how to build it, but actually information about the Tantive 4, how the design process was done, and also, usually at the end, you get to see actually other sets that you can purchase, but they stopped ending it. They haven't really done that for a while, but it also comes with this graphic as well. But now, let's move on to my final thoughts on this set. Now, what are my final thoughts on this Lego set? Well, this Lego set is confusing because neither a Lego UCS set or a play set. It's in between. And I don't know if it's actually a good thing. The reason why I say that is because this set has a lot of detail, but it also has a lot of play features, which is good, but there aren't too many play features, but actually, it's also not as displayable as it could be either, simply because it is geared to be more of a play set. Yes, it's easier to transport around, and there are quite a lot of good things about this set. And for what it actually is, it's quite decent. But my main problem with this set is simply, it's not being a play set, but it's not being a UCS set either. It's sort of that in between, and unlike the Ewok Village set, which I've reviewed earlier than this, it doesn't really work. And the reason why is because, yes, you get good bits of the play set, but you also get the bad bits of it, where you simply don't actually have enough play features. Meanwhile, this set doesn't really look too good. Meanwhile, this set is actually quite a lot more expensive than what it needs to be. And because of that, I give it 4 stars. Now, the set itself is good, but the pricing's off. It could have easily been, in my currency at least, $50 lower, and it would have presented itself a better value for money. And the other thing is, this set doesn't look as good as what it could have been, considering the size and just the opportunity that Lego had to make this look really good. But even as a play set, there's not enough room to really play with this set. There's not a huge amount of minifigure space, and even though this set does come with quite a lot of minifigures, it doesn't really feel like a quality play set either. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more videos just like this, please subscribe. I hope you are having a grand day and keep building.